I've never seen President Trump face the kind of problems from his own base that he's got going right now, but this is something that better get fixed because people are really fed up. They're really sick of the fact that we still have a two-tier justice system. Trump keeps blowing it off and telling us how good Pam Bondi is, what a great friend she is, but that doesn't satisfy us. He can't be dead to the room. Everybody is outraged anymore. You open up any kind of social media, go to Pam Bondi's X page. It's just a series of scrolling complaints about her and the lack of action. Nobody has been harder on Pam Bondi than me. I did not want her in the first place because my friends from Florida warned me about her. These are astute people who I trust. And then since that time, everything that they said has been proven true by her establishment background. But there's a couple of things that people need to remember about Trump and the problems with the AG and the prosecution of Democrats. Trump now has 5 years in office. Every AG he has picked has always come from the swamp. We had Sessions, we had Barr, we've got Bondi. They're all from the swamp. Bondi is from Team Bush, just the same as Barr. And then we have Trump. In a previous video, I showed him on the podium speaking in his own voice, describing why he protected Hillary from prosecution. He said, I had her so bad. She destroyed the hard drives. She had 33,000 emails. So he said, she got subpoenas and destroyed the evidence. I could have had her so bad. He said, but I chose to protect her because I thought that would be bad because of who she is. That video, I'll put a link to it in the description here. You can see it yourself. He actually said that. Under the Trump watch, no top-tier Democrat or any elitist connected to top-tier Democrats has ever been prosecuted. Trump, we aren't stupid. You can't do this in a midterm year. You can't do this in a midterm because you're right, you can take us for granted because everybody that goes to the booth, they're going to vote Republican. But you've got to think about the people that are throwing their hands in the air and saying, screw it. It doesn't matter how I vote. We still get the same thing. And they just don't show up. This is how Republicans always blow it when they get the presidency, the House, and the Senate. They always blow it. Historically, they've always blown it. And that's what we're headed for now. It's going to be a repeat. You cannot fail to read the room. Everybody knows that you are aware of this and you're not doing anything about it. Now, as for the people who don't like me saying this, that's really too bad, okay? Because this is our job as informed, engaged citizens. We're supposed to do this in America. That's what the First Amendment's for. That's what the whole Constitution is about. Because you got to remember, everybody works for us. Just because I'm being critical of Trump doesn't mean that I hate Trump. That's just flat stupid. Because let me tell you something. These people say, oh, you can't say anything about our president. I love him. You're just a stupid liberal screwtard. I don't have any time for these idiots. Unfortunately, there's idiots on both sides. But look, people get angry and have discussions with their spouses, okay? With their girlfriends, their spouses, their co-workers, their pastor. You can disagree with anybody from time to time, because if you don't, you're just a stupid doormat. Let's be honest here. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with Trump and constructive criticism when you think he's wrong, because the guy is human and he makes mistakes. Did people already forget the COVID vaccine? He spent billions rushing that crap out, and all the smart people were saying, you're not sticking that poison in my arm. I used to be mad because Trump kept Bondi, okay? Well, the truth is, he's giving her orders. They meet almost daily. They do meet daily when he is in town. Whatever she's doing, it is with his approval. Put out these little statements where he says, oh, she needs to arrest somebody. Do your job. That's not how D.C. works. That's not how management works, and Trump knows it. Trump has hired and fired too many people in his life to play this game that people are falling for. That isn't how you do it. When you've got a problem with an employee and you've got him in your office every day, you think maybe you ought to just take care of it in the office. It's called a trip to the woodshed. Nobody's buying this, Trump. For you to criticize her publicly, I'm sure the call goes out, or when you're talking to her, you probably say, hey, people are getting mad, so I'm going to put in a tweet. Now, don't take it personal, but I'm going to publish a statement and say that I want you to do something, and that'll kind of take the heat off us for a while, okay? But she's like, yeah, sure, Don, whatever you want to do. That's okay by me. I'll take them both. And the truth is, it's becoming the fact that she's a lightning rod to deflect the criticism away from him for the failure to prosecute. America does not want a two-tier justice system. One of the reasons Trump was popular to a lot of voters, one of the reasons we were able to steal some Democrats in his first campaign, and one of the reasons he got so many of the swing voters was because of the clean up the swamp stuff. People are sick of the corruption. They're sick of the elites getting away. They're sick of a two-tier justice system where people at the top can commit crimes that the rest of us would go to prison for in a heartbeat. The elites don't even get charged. All of those perverts, those rich perverts that abused those little girls that were human trafficked to Epstein Island, Trump won't go after any of them. Trump protects the elites and the Democrats. And it's unfortunate, but that is exactly what we've seen. That is irrefutable. None of them have ever been prosecuted on his watch. Why is Ilhan Omar still in Congress when even Trump says she married her brother to get in? What the hell do these Republicans do? Trump should not have to do everything. The Republicans in Congress should have already gone after Omar. They should have already gotten her out of there. She should already be cuffed. And then when she's done in prison, boot her butt back to Somalia. But no, that's not happening. Nothing happens to crooked Democrats. That's what America is mad about. President Trump, you are dividing us in a critical campaign year. And your people are getting madder by the day because there is no prosecution. Pelosi, Fauci, Schiff, Hillary, now Bill too. They ignored subpoenas and nothing happens. You people are what make them elite. Trump, right now, it's your administration that is making them untouchable because they are touchable. Pam Bondi issues these statements. No one is above the law. This is America. And then you guys hold everybody above the law as long as they're a DC elite or a top-tier Democrat. Trump, they raided your house in Mar-a-Lago. You're letting them get away with this? Equal justice under the law is a basic tenet of the American principles. That's why our statues that depict Our Lady Justice, they have a blindfold. Justice is supposed to be blind. It's color blind, it's status blind, it's political party blind. We don't have that right now. Justice in America right now is not blind. It has its sights on the people, and it ignores the criminals at the top. And that is irrefutable. Right now, equal justice under the law doesn't exist. Justice is for just us. If you're a nameless, faceless person, one of the taxpayers that is paying all of the crooks in D.C., yeah, you get justice. If one of us withholds $3,000 from the IRS, we can go to jail for it. You can be a politician or an elite in D.C. and steal billions, misappropriate, lose billions, and nothing happens. You keep your job. Equal justice under the law just doesn't exist right now, and we know it. And it's your DOJ, Trump. It's your DOJ. Bondi can't be blamed. You give the orders. You can fire her if you weren't happy. This is your DOJ. You got to fix it. It's an election year, for God's sake. We want people to show up in midterms. Don't do this to us. Hey, I'd like to remind you right now, I don't know if you're familiar with us, if you're new to us, but I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. We're a new channel. Moved everything over here from our old formats. This is just what we're focusing on because this is a lot of work. It really is. Anyway, appreciate you being here. If you want to help us grow, please hit like, subscribe, and most of all, the comments are really important too. Thanks. Don't let yourself be lured into this tribe of people that, for whatever reason, they defend all of this. They make excuses for it and cover it up, and they always do this. They always say something's going to happen. Be patient, be patient. Later on, when nothing happens, they act like they're surprised. So don't fall into this excuse game. There aren't any excuses for this. It needs to be done today. It should have already been done. It needs to be done now. They have too many excuses, and all of them are empty. They say things like, do that because we can't get a judge. Well, there's been a lot of good judges that have backed Trump on a lot of different things. There's a lot of good judges that have brought justice. Of course, they don't get the attention. Well, they've got to finish the charges. They haven't built the case. We have got cases on a lot of these people. You don't have to complete every investigation to every charge before you file the first charge and lock these people up. Bring them in. Get the mug shots. Get the process started. Get them out of their damn offices. Render them harmless. Get them out of the way and then finish building the case. That's what they do with everybody else. You know how many murders they'll pick up on a drug charge or violating a protective order or something like that, and they'll hold them for 30 days in jail on these other charges before they charge them with the murder? They start with the first charge. That's how the criminal process system works. So don't hide Bondi and her failures behind the fact that they've got to complete an investigation. No, they do not. Don't tell me it takes a long time. They've got a long time, but file the first ones. Nobody from the Biden family has been touched. The entire family is organized crime. 10 of those individuals receive money from foreign sources through companies that are just shell companies. They have no product. They have no websites. They have no other financial transactions except moving money from foreign governments to members of the Biden family. 10 members. There isn't one charge. Like I say, I used to blame Bondi. Trump is giving the orders. She works for him. All problems are management problems. Bondi is a failure because Trump is allowing the failure if he's not ordering it. They've both got some explaining to do. President Trump needs to come out and tell us why we have a two-tier justice system. He needs to tell us why we should be ambitious to vote in the fall when we aren't getting what we were promised. Yeah, Trump has kept a lot of promises. I'll give him a 80-85% grade right now on everything he's done. Nobody's 100%, and if you think it is, well, you're just a sycophant. You're not a thinking person. Because nobody should ever be 100% happy with any other person. I mean, come on. We're all flawed. We know that. We all make mistakes. But a lot of mistakes don't matter. And I hate to see the country getting divided and the people getting upset in a campaign year. We're going to have elections this fall, and there's a lot of people that are just going to sit it out. I see them saying it already. I don't blame them. It's like, no matter what you do, nothing gets better. This is just temporary, waiting for Trump to go away so they can ratchet all this stuff back up again because the same people are going to be there. They still are. He's been in there a year. Every one of them is totally safe. This got to change. We got to get this right, my friends. If we do, maybe God will continue to bless this great country of ours. Thanks for listening.